28 and verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So cursed shall you be in the city and in the field. In every city in America, when you go to the low-income portions of town, you go to the places where there is a lot of gang violence, a lot of drugs, a lot of prostitution. Who lives there? Us, right?
Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Every Martin Luther King Boulevard in America.
Find what you want.
So, okay, so you're right. So you go to the east side.
Yeah.
We living like that.
Yeah.
You go to the south side. You go to Hampton Homes and the other one. You go to Ray Warren off Gate City. You go to Claremont on Phillips Avenue. It's the same thing. It's the same people living there, right? And then he's trying to be like you. Look at his head. He's trying to be like you. A damn white man trying to be like you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to be like you. They want to dress like you. They want to act like you. They don't want your problem. Yeah, they don't like us. They don't want our problem. They want to switch places with you. Right? They'll live in the suburbs with their dreadlocks and listen to rap music and put rims on their car in the suburbs. But they don't want your life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But anyway, you'll be cursed in the city. Now we say Greensboro and every project is us living there. Let's go to Raleigh.
Oh, it's like that in Winston-Salem.
Let's go to Winston.
Because that's where I'm from.
Okay, well, let's go to 40 projects in Queens, New York. Let's go to Compton.
Go to Charlotte.
Let's go to Charlotte. Let's go to daggone Chicago.
Right.
Now, let me ask you a question. It said, curse how you be in the city and in the field. I'm going to ask something. Why is it that in every city, in every place that I can name, when you go to the projects, it's our people? Would that not be something spiritual behind that or an omen? That sounds like a spiritual
It's like
cloud.
a generational curse.
That's a generational curse.
Right.
Because why ain't there no Asian projects?
Right.
Why ain't there no Caucasian projects?
Caucasian.
Why is there no Arabian projects? Why is there no Japanese or Jewish projects? It's just us living in these areas.
The Chinese.
That,
For the beauty salon store.
you said what?
The Chinese for the beauty salon store.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only time they in the hood.
Right.
And the Arab people, that's the only time they in the hood. They'll sell us some pork or some egg. That's it. And then they send that money back to their people and they go back to where they at.
We don't like to support each other.
No, we don't. But
We
that's
don't like
what
to
I'll
support
curse to, and I'm gonna get to that. So curse how you be in the city and the field. We've established that in every city in America, we're the ones living like this, right? It's funny how it's no other people.
Right.
But how will we curse in the field? Let's just think about it.
We don't support one another and we don't trust one another.
But there's a question: how was we cursed in the field?
That's from the beginning.
Was picking cotton from sun up to sun up a blessing or a curse? That was
I say that was a curse.
That was a curse.
Yeah, because my great grandmother was a slave and she,
See?
yeah, so that was definitely a curse.
You see how recent that is?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So boom, that's those two curses. Let's keep going. Give me 32.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So another curse is your sons and your daughters will be given to another people. It gets deeper.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And you will want your children back. Go ahead.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
But you won't have no power to get your children back. Now I'm gonna ask you something. I always use this movie as an analogy. Have you ever seen Roots? You remember when Kunta and his wife had that baby, and then that slave master sold that baby into slavery. Into another plantation. What was that baby's mama doing? She was crying. And what was Kunta doing? Nothing but consoling her. He knew he had no power. He had no power in his hand.
I'll give you one better.
Go ahead.
Just a recent movie, what's that, what's the name of it? The guy, it's a slavery movie.
Antebellum.
Yeah, Antebellum.
Antebellum.
Antebellum. You seen that? You seen that? Yeah. It was the master's. No, it's actually Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
You seen Birth of a Nation?
Haven't seen that one yet.
That's pretty good. I seen this.
You remember that scene? You remember that scene where the man just got married to his wife. He had just got married to her. They just jumped the broom and they was doing the dance scene. Then that night, the slave master's friend came over to the house. And he came over to the house and she was in the house working as the house slave. And he said, you know, I want to have me a good time. And so he told slaves, he said, go get her and have her come to his place. The dude that was standing there, he had to watch his wife go into the room, and he stood there crying while his wife was in there. She come out, he done did his business with her. You see what I'm saying?
That's a curse.
That's a curse.
Now let's get another one, 37.
Comes Deuteronomy 28 and 37.
We're not even gonna get all of them. It's 53 curses. We're not getting all of them. We're just getting a few. Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Read that again, Slaughter.
Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Now, let me ask you something. Do y'all watch sports at all?
You said what?
Sports.
I stopped watching.
Okay, I mean, I understand
did,
why.
but I stopped watching.
But let's think about it, right? But when you was into sports, NBA, NFL, what was you watching? NFL? Oh, let's talk about the NFL. That's a good one. The NFL is 90-something% African American. If there were none, would you watch it? What about you, brother? If there was no African Americans in the NFL or the NBA, would you watch it?
Probably not. It'd be too boring.
It would be boring.
Hell nah.
Because we're the most special people on the earth. We're the most athletic people on the earth. If it was a whole bunch of white dudes playing football, it would be trash. The score would be 0. No, it might be 100 to 100. It would either be 0 to 0 or 100 to 100. Because either the defense is gonna be trash or the offense is gonna be trash.
Right.
This is gonna be they're gonna be kicking field goals all game. It's gonna be just 3 times 3 times 3 all game long, right? But it's the Bible says you will be an astonishment. Because let's think about it. We invented gospel, we invented jazz, we invented rhythm and blues, which is R&B. We invented rhythm and poetry, which is rap. We invented rock and roll. That's why so many black people are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because we invented that, right? Everything that's worth doing, the cell phone you have in your pocket, we invented that. The stoplight up the street, we invented that. The iron, we invented that. The dryer, we invented that. The what?
The brick.
The brick, we invented
Black
that.
man made those bricks.
The rocket, he got NASA on his shirt. The lady, she came up with the mathematical equation to get a rocket up into space. Right. We invented that. The GPS system, we invented that. The laptop, we invented that. The dude who got Microsoft on the map was a black man.
Right.
We the most special people on the earth. But then you go to Martin Luther King Boulevard, and brothers got their pants hanging all the way down here. Or you go to Brooklyn, where they sell tickets for Japanese people to ride a bus to ride through the projects.
Really?
Yes, yeah. This happens in 2022. Yes, it happens, right? And they see how they know you the most athletic, they know you the most talented, you cook the best, you dress the best, you dance the best, but then they go into your neighborhood, your pants hanging all the way down the head, your women is prostituting, you selling drugs to each other, they shaking their head, because you will be an astonishment. That's why the Bible says you will be an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. Now, that's the astonishment. A proverb is a wise saying against you. Here's one that I've heard in my 28 years of living. If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it where? In a book. Well, guess what we showing you? We showing you your nationality. It's been in the book the whole time. We ain't want to read it. But that's a proverb against us. That's a wise saying against us. You know, the other niggas love chicken and watermelon, all that stupid stuff, right? Okay, and then it said a byword. A byword is anything outside of your God-given name. I asked you what you was. You said Cherokee and black. A black savage is what you told us. If we going by definition.
Who said savage? White man said savage.
Right, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You don't like that, right? Watch this. Because we call ourselves, my grandmother, right? Choctaw Indian. Cherokee Indian. You just said Cherokee, but we know that Indian is a term associated with that particular tribe. They called us Indian because they were trying to call us savages. Black was a term of, that was a derogatory term. You see what I'm saying? Devil food cake is black, angel food cake is white. A white lie is just something petty, but if you throw somebody on the table, you blackballing them. Everything that was associated with black was derogatory. It's the same thing. Black is evil, white is pure. You see what I'm saying? He said you will be, a byword is anything outside of your God-given name. The Most High didn't call us black, you ain't gonna find that. The Most High didn't call us savages, you ain't gonna find that. You see what I'm saying? So You will be a astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. Did you get that one in the ox?
Yeah.
Give me that. Because y'all both said that y'all was from certain tribes of the so-called Indians. You said Cherokee, you said what?
It was just Indian. So
Okay.
We put it out as Gad, the native.
I got you.
American.
So I'm gonna show you a curse that directly reflects what happened to you guys as people. Read that. Right here in America. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 31.
Go ahead.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes,
The Bible says your oxen will be slain before your eyes. Read.
and thou shalt not eat thereof.
And you will not eat thereof. That's it?
Nah. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them.
Now watch this. There was a thing called the Buffalo Massacre of 1871. Right? Now I'm going to show you something. This is what white men said. It said, kill every buffalo you can. Every buffalo dead is an Indian gone. Because that was your food source here. Right? I'm gonna see if they got the picture up here.
They almost did. I was walking down the line.
Yeah. So I don't know where the picture's at. Go ahead, brother.
It was more than just a food source. They used the entire buffalo.
Right.
Because they would use the skin, they would use it for clothes, they would build tents, everything.
Right. So there's a picture where there is a white man on a mountain of buffalo skulls. They purposely did that to kill off the so-called Indians' food source. They said every buffalo dead is an Indian gone.
Right.
Because what were they trying to do? Take over this land. That's what they was trying to do. Come on, man. We had our own bus system. We had our own doctors. We had our own lawyers, our own education.
I can't get no answer out of them. Why they hate us so much? I can't get.
I'm gonna give you the
Because they
answer.
know.
I'm gonna give you an answer
Because they
today.
know.
They
Hey.
just won't give me no answer to that.
I'm gonna give that out the Bible. I'm gonna give you that out the Bible. I'm gonna answer that question. Read 49 because I know you wanted to get that. And I'm gonna. You give me 54, and then we just gonna get a couple more. But get that because it's
We
more.
get what they want.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28,
Uh-huh.
verse 49. The Lord shall bring, Salakia, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth,
So there will be a nation that comes against us.
as swift as the eagle flieth.
There'll be a swift as the eagle flight. He just read that earlier. There's from the other end of the earth. You will not even understand their language. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
There you go. We won't understand their language. Read.
A nation of fierce
They will have a
countenance,
fierce countenance because they mean as hell. Read.
which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
So they don't care if you old or young. They're going to get you. Now, there's a poster up here. Which one is it? Show them, Tico, if you can keep that camera still at the same time. There you go. Now, you see a 2-year-old. He look like he's about 2, right? With that cotton sack on his back, right?
Yeah.
And then how old do you think that man is with his back beat out?
Probably like mid-20s.
No, that's an old man.
Yeah,
That's an old man. Said they will not show regard the person of the young, no show faith. I mean, read it again, that part, just that part.
It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old,
So they don't regard that you are old man, right?
nor show favor to the young.
And you a young man, you brittle, you can't do all this, they don't care. They still had you picking cotton, and the result of him getting not picking enough cotton is why he got his back beat in. Right? They don't care. Right? Now, we're gonna leave that. Let's go to 54. I'm gonna get a couple more. Read that.
Found it's Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
Cause you said something earlier. You said we don't trust each other. We don't like to support each other. I'm gonna show you what I read. Yep. Watch this.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
So it said that the men used to have tenderness and delicacy towards each other, meaning we can see each other, we can dap each other up. How you doing today? We don't even got to know each other. But now, you like a brother's shirt in the mall and you look at him too long, he gonna ask you what the hell you looking at? And if you butt back at him, what's gonna end up happening?
New York mentality.
A fight gonna happen, something, right?
What happened when he stepped on them J's?
You step on that man Jordan, it's over with. Nelly made a song about that. You know what I'm saying? No, was it Webby? He said, do what you do, but watch my shoes. That was Boosie, right? You see what I'm saying? He said, you could get loose, but watch my shoe. Because he telling you what's going to happen if you step on my shoe.
Right.
It's over with, right? Now, watch this.
And it's like they get a kick out of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they want
It's the highlight of their day. Yeah.
Right, and it's like, oh yes, we got them. We want them to
How do we
be.
pull together and break that shit?
I'm going to show you. Watch this.
Good question.
Now watch
Good
this.
question.
It said that we have an evil eye towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom. I mean, that's why our relationships don't last long in our communities. And the last one was, and he will have an evil eye towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Now let's go back to the projects. Is it a whole bunch of single men, single fathers raising their children in the projects? Or is it a whole bunch of women raising kids alone? Whole bunch of single mothers in the projects raising their children alone. This is a curse according to the Bible. I'm gonna get you two more. I'm gonna get you one more. Give me 68.
Khan, this is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now in the Bible, my bad. In the Bible, Egypt is synonymous with bondage. You know the Israelites. We seen Prince of Egypt. We seen Prince of Egypt. We know that you gotta get it. We know that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt. He said, I'm gonna take you back into that condition again. The real word for Egypt is Mizraim, meaning between a rock or a hard place or a house of bondage or slavery. So I'm gonna take you back into that slavery again, but it's gonna give you the method of transportation this time. Now we know the Israelites walked into Egypt and they walked out of Egypt. They did not go back into Egypt as slaves. But watch how the method of transportation. Read it from the top again.
Khan. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he's gonna bring you to slavery again.
With ships.
With ships.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
So exactly how it's being read is how it's going to happen. Read.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
And you will never see your homeland again. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold.
So when you get to the destination of these ships, you will be sold.
Ye will be sold to your enemies.
No, your friends.
Your enemies.
No, the ones you're supposed to get married to.
Your enemies.
You're going to be sold to your enemy. Go ahead.
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
And the Hebrew term for buy just means redeem. Nobody's going to be able to get you up out of that condition. And let's think about everybody who tried. Let's just run the list down. I always do this. Martin Luther King, what happened to him? Marcus Garvey, what happened to him?
Killed.
Fred Hampton, what happened to him?
Killed.
Khalid Muhammad, what happened to him?
Out of here.
Malcolm X, what happened to him?
Out of here.
Why everybody who tries to take us out of this condition
They
die?
don't want us to know.
Exactly.
Farrakhan, I'm gonna tell you something about Farrakhan. I'm gonna tell you something about Farrakhan.
You see the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something about Farrakhan. I'm gonna tell you something about Farrakhan because Khalid Muhammad and Malcolm X was both trying to leave Farrakhan when they died because they saw the bigger picture. Farrakhan is in cahoots with a lot of people. He said he loves the dude from the Church of Scientology. What's that dude name? Dang, what's that dude name? I went to one of their schools. They the most bugged out people on the face of the earth.
Somebody, the actor that do Mission Impossible?
No, the person who founded the Church of Scientology. I forgot that man's name. But he said, I love him. He said, because his idea will help us. Now, Farrakhan is a Muslim, but he don't never open up a Quran. Why he always quoting the Bible?
Always. Always coming here.
Why he always quoting the Bible? He don't never open the Quran because he knows it's the truth. But you love the dude who founded the Church of Scientology and say he has a plan that will help us. What about God's plan that will help us? Right? What about God's plan that will help us?
Can I ask, would it be considered that we are indigenous and not aboriginous people? I mean, or is that?
I'm gonna put it like this, because I don't want to misquote. Yonson might have to come answer that one, because we are not the first people on earth.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? As far as the nation of Israel, there was other nations when a man named Jacob had his 4 wives and married his 4 women and had children with these 4 women and created the 12 tribes of Israel. We weren't the only nation here, so I'm not gonna say we're the first people.
Well, not saying that we are, but would it be like that is indigenous and not aboriginal?
So I need to understand what
we
you're
were
saying.
already here.
Right. Yeah.
In this land,
like we were already indigenous
in this land,
of
we
this
were.
land.
In this land, we were.
Right.
For sure, we were. Yep. In this land, we
See
show
that
what.
astonishment right
Yeah,
there?
they
That's
astonished because they
astonishment.
see black people reading books. Like they have books in their
You
hands.
see it all in her face. It's like,
Like she like, what the hell is going on here? I am flabbergasted. What? I thought we was keeping these people from reading, right?
Oh, so they
Okay, then.
you're right.
Right. So, the man Jacob, he wrestled against an angel, right? And he told the angel, "I'm not letting you go until you bless me." And the angel changed his name to Israel. Well, this man, he married 4 women: Leah, Bilhah, Zilpah, and Rachel. And out of these 4 women came Reuben, Simeon, Levi. Just look at that sign: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, and Benjamin. From these 12 men became the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, which we derive from. See what I'm saying?